Hi, Sandra here from Create in Spain. So this is today's card and it's an interactive card. You might notice a little pull tab here. If I pull the tab, I have a little mouse that comes out of the cake with a cupcake of his own. Sweet or what? The first thing to do with this, apart from cutting out a couple of pieces, is to do a little bit of colour blending on the main front panel. So I have my first piece here, and you can see there's two slits, and I have another piece here. One end has got sharp edges on it and the other has been rounded off very slightly, and this is the one that you want to put at the base. It has a little hole so you can grab what you need to grab, and when I've coloured it, it's going to have a piece of acetate put through that hole, taken to the back and stapled together. I have my background piece coloured and I have a piece of plastic. Now I get window cling type stuff, but it's a relatively strong plastic, and I'm just going to put a thread of it through here and through the other hole. Now I have made the hole slit so that you should be able to thread through very easily if you're using this file. And then you simply want to staple one piece over the other. Don't pull it really tight, you want a little bit of slack in it. I can take off some excess anyway, because even if I have to redo it, I'm not going to need the excess. Yeah, that will go up and down quite easily. It's quite loose, so that's all right. I'm going to put in another staple or two just to make sure. I think 2 staples will be fine. And then you want to put your coloured piece on here, but you need to make sure your staples and your join is at the top, and you want to make sure that that goes at the top as well, that it's centered up. I've not got my piece of plastic as wide as my slit, so in this particular case I need to make sure that it's centered up so that my strap here will be in the center of my finger grip. So I've stapled on my piece of card, and then when I turn it over, if I pull it, the plastic will easily go up and down, and it's going to move the image that I want it to move. So that's easy. Now on the reverse side, obviously I don't want it to go side to side. I just need to put something on this side here to keep this in line. And it's just going to be some double-sided foam tape. I've got some tape here as it happens. That's ready cut into relatively thin strips. And just put one strip either side. So with my base done and my tab put on the back of it, and I've also put on foam on either side to keep the tab going down straight, and on the front of it I need to sort out where my little mouse needs to go. Now I've got a little bit of acetate and I'm just going to cut a strip. This is going to be way too big, but I just need to cut a strip off first of all, and put a little piece of a double-sided tape onto one side, like so, and then put my mouse on. So my mouse is on there. Now when I pull this down all the way down, I need my mouse to be somewhere up here. And if I put my cake on here, you can see in this particular instance what I've done is I've put the slit so that it is at the top of the cake. So if I put a little bit of acetate on the back of my mouse and then put that onto the top of this when it's fully extended, my little mouse should stand up above the cake when the tab is pulled. So need to put that on the back, not on the front. And I want my mouse to stand right about there. So if I then have my cake on the top of that, when it's pulled, it's like that, and when it's pushed back up, the mouse is hidden. And it comes back up. Cute. Right, so all I need to do now is to put some double-sided foam on the back of here. And I'm just going to be doing it around the outside because I don't want the mechanism to get messed up, obviously. So now I have a mouse that will go up and down like so. So all I need to do now is to put this on some double-sided foam onto a card base. Now in this particular case, I've made this one a full A6 size, so there isn't a border on it. But if you want a border on it, you can simply make the card just a tiny bit smaller. Well, with this one I'm going to do a flower pot and some flowers. So I've got my two slits far enough apart that they are covered by this flower pot, but only just. Okay, they're about as far apart as they can get. And I've wrapped around my plastic and I've put a couple of lines of double-sided foam tape on the back. I haven't removed the backing of it, doesn't need it. So I need to put on this pull strip, and because I've already put the backing on here, I'm just going to have to put the stapler over there and going to staple it as close as I can to the top once I get it lined up. I should have actually done this before I put the tape on and I just forgot. There we go. So I have my pull strip attached and I can test that that's going to work, which it will. Now it's a slightly long pull strip at the moment, but I can take the excess off later on. So I've got that bit done. And I need to work out where my flowers are going to go, but first of all I'm going to have to colour these in. I've done some very quick colouring in on the flowers, very little. And what I want to do is to put a little bit of double-sided tape on the bottom there. And put one layer over the other. Like so. So I'll have a few more flowers and it just looks a little nicer. So if this is to be pulled right down and this goes over here, then I want my flowers to go more or less there. So you can see that at the moment it doesn't quite reach this little piece of plastic. So I need just a tiny piece of acetate. Right, I found my piece of acetate. I'll use it again. And just cut off a small piece, like so, and use a very small piece of sticky tape, double-sided sticky tape of course. To stick that onto the back, pretty much in the middle. Okay, so just checking my position, my pot is going to be there, and I want that to be there in its highest position. It's got to go on that side. It won't do any good otherwise. So there's more or less what I want just there. If you want to, you can put a piece of sticky tape over the top, normal sticky tape, to keep that held down, but really shouldn't need to. And then when that is pushed down there, it will hide it. I don't even have to add a sentiment for this, which is great because I've got it written on the pot already. So there we do have our finished pot.